environmental hazards, and our human health. What is health? According to the World Health Organization, health is defined as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, not merely the absence of disease or illness. By that definition, we are all ill to some extent. Likewise, we all can improve our health to live happier, longer, more productive, and more satisfying lives if we think about what we do. A disease is an abnormal change in the body's condition that impairs important physical or psychological function. Diet, nutrition, infectious agents, toxic substances, genetics, traumas, and stress all play a role in morbidity, which is illness, and mortality, which is death. Environmental health focuses on environmental factors that cause disease, including elements of the natural, social, cultural, and technological worlds in which we live. The World Health Organization estimates that 24% of all global disease burden and 23% of premature mortality are due to environmental factors. Among children 0 to 14 years, death attributable to environmental factors may be as high as 36%. This figure shows environment has on some of our health impacts. In ecological terms, your body is an ecosystem. Of the approximately 10 trillion cells that make up each of us, only about 10% are actually human. The others are bacteria, fungi, protozoan, arthropods, and other species. Ideally, the various organisms in this complex system maintain a harmonious balance. Beneficial species help regulate the dangerous ones. The health challenge shouldn't be to try to totally eradicate all of these other species. We couldn't live without them. Rather, we need to find ways to live in equilibrium with our environment and our fellow travelers. Although there are many worries about pollution, environmental toxins, emerging diseases, and other health threats, we should take a moment to consider the remarkable progress we've made over the past 100 years in controlling many terrible diseases. Epidemics that once killed millions of people have been reduced or eliminated. Smallpox was completely wiped out in 1977. Polio has been eliminated almost everywhere in the world except for a few places in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Laos, and Madagascar. Epidemics of typhoid fever, cholera, and yellow fever that regularly decimated populations a century ago are now rarely encountered in developed countries. AIDS, which was once an immediate death sentence, has become a highly treatable disease. The average HIV-positive person in the United States now lives 24 years after diagnosis, if treated faithfully with modern medicine. One of the best indicators of health gains is a worldwide increase in child survivability. 50 years ago in South Asia, for example, nearly 1 in 4 children died before their 5th birthday. Currently, the global 5-year survival rate is over 95%. The decrease in many infectious illnesses, along with the aging population, is producing a shift in global disease burden. Many people now live for years with chronic illnesses or disabilities. According to the WHO, chronic diseases now account for nearly 3/4 of the 56.5 million total deaths worldwide each year, and about half of the global disease burden. To account for the costs of chronic illness, health agencies calculate disease burden for a population in terms of a term called daily disability-adjusted life years. These statistics is the sum of overall years lost to disability or illness, plus years lost to early death in a population. For example, a teenager permanently paralyzed by a traffic accident will have many years of suffering, healthcare costs, and lost potential. Similarly, many years of expected life are lost when a child dies of a neonatal infection. A senior citizen who has a stroke, on the other hand, will lose far fewer years to disease or disability just because they are older. Major causes of death have changed dramatically in recent decades. Chronic conditions such as cardiovascular disease, cancer, and stroke were once common only in wealthy countries. These conditions are now among the leading cause of death in lower and middle income countries as well. Although the traditional killers in developing countries, infection, maternal and perinatal complications, nutritional deficiencies, still take a toll in our lowest income areas, diseases such as depression, diabetes, heart attack, and stroke, which once occurred mainly in rich countries, are rapidly becoming increasingly common everywhere. This week, you will look at the issues and the things in the environment that can affect our human health, and look at the economic impact of being ill or being sick has on a society.